video is going to be about the the Tanchjim Oxygen. This is an interesting IEM. I think I paid $269 for this. Expensive. Comes in a really, really nice box. It's a really good packaging. They really did a good job on this. Comes with this case, tiny little case, nice spine, whatever. It's got their little logo, which is really nice on there. Comes with two cables. Comes with this silver cable, which looks to be an okay cable, right? But man, it is a tangly mess. And it's thin, and it's got this kind of janky thing that just won't go away. I mean, it's just like constantly, see, it's catching everything. It's just thin, and you know, it's okay. It works fine. I mean, it works, sounds great, but it's just not like a quality cable. I mean, you know, I pay $269 for something. I expect the cable it comes with to be pretty high quality, considering how cheap cables are nowadays, right? It also comes with this cable, which I didn't even take out. And this one has a mic on it. So if you want to use it with the microphone on a phone, then there you go. It comes with that. So it is cool. They give you two cables. I like that. And they give you a little case. As you can see, I have it on a different cable. So let's get down to this. This is, let's see how if you can see that really well. I mean, this it's beautiful. It is a, let's put this one down here. Sorry, it's like getting some reflection there. But that is there we go, that's better. So this thing is really beautiful. Very solid stainless steel. It even says that. And it's two pin. So sorry, I'm trying to find the right place here. There we go. That's what the stem looks like. It's got a little black screen in there. And the quality of the sound of these things, the timbre, the sound reproduction, the separation, everything is just incredible. And it's just the tuning on these. There's a tonality to vocals, to wind instruments, to string instruments, to drums, to pianos, to just about everything. Just sounds so good. In fact, I was listening this morning to something I don't listen to often because I like it, but I mean, it's not number one favorite. And that's I was listening to Yo-Yo Ma, and he's a cellist, and he's a very famous guy for being a cellist. And his cello on these just sounded just freaking incredible. I mean, so realistic and just so beautiful. The sound of it. You know, you feel like you're right there. The stage on these is excellent. The like I said, the separation is really good. Now I scratched these up a little bit. I've been using them so much. The stage, like, okay, so let's go back to the sound. The stage on these, I could really tell when instruments were behind me, in front of me, to the side of me. I want to say it was very wide. There were some songs that I was actually very surprised at how good the stage was and how things sounded like so well placed on these. The tips that came with them, I didn't like that much. These have kind of a short stem. You know, you can kind of see that's the length of the stem right there. Let's take that off so you can really see the length of that stem. So, I didn't like them, but I had a review, a subscriber who recommended. Sorry, I had a subscriber who recommended these Sedna EarFit Elastic, and I went ahead and ordered a set. And this is actually the second set because I was blown away by the first set. this material is like, it's like almost like a surgical silicone. It's sticky. And so for short stems like um, this fixes an issue. I mean, this sticks inside the ear so well and seals so well that I don't have to worry about this falling out. With the tips that it came with, it was kind of falling out of my ear a little bit. I had to keep kind of pushing it in to get a good, because if these even slip a little bit, the sound quality drops drastically and it sounds very thin. But when you've got a good seal and they're seated in well, the bass reproduction is fantastic on these. This dynamic driver, the way they tuned this thing, or the type of dynamic driver they're using, it's phenomenal. These are probably right now my overall favorite IEM. And I know that these have been reviewed before many times. There's lots of videos about these out there, and everyone marks them up, and talks about them and hypes them up. And I've always thought, I wonder, could they really be that good? They look a lot like, the Shozis, and a couple other dynamic driver type IEMs that are out there, and with the solid stainless steel case, that kind of thing. So, and I thought, why is it so expensive, $269? But you know what? I had a discounted coupon out at Linsole, so I went ahead and used that, and I ordered these, and now I know why everybody hypes them. The sound on these, like everything I throw at it, just sounds incredible. The one area that I had an issue with, if you want to call it that, is I was listening to Metallica, and I think it's Ride the Lightning. So that one, or the second song on the album, I'm not sure, but the song has a section that is very complicated, I guess you'd say, right? It's like there's like a couple of guitars jamming very fast, and in other IEMs like the ISN 40 and even in the Fearless, because those use BAs instead of dynamic drivers, or they use a mixture. Well, the Fearless uses just BAs, and the ISN uses a hybrid where it's a BA and dynamic driver, whereas these are just dynamic driver. And on those, that section of the guitar in Ride the Lightning, you could very clearly hear each note and each guitar, right? You could really hear them. Whereas with this, I noticed with it kind of bled together a little bit and became more of a sound, an overall sound, rather than the individual instruments being identified kind of thing. But it was really only that song. It's the only one I found that it did that. And it still sounded good. It sounded very good. I just didn't have that kind of crazy detail in there that I would with a BA or even an electrostatic type of driver. But other than that, that would be my only, I guess, gripe, I guess you'd say. It's not really a gripe. Onto another interesting thing with these. So you see this cable here that I've got on here. It's a Linsole cable. I can't remember what they call it. I'll put a link to it in the description for this video. But you guys, if you have been watching any of my videos, you know that I've started a couple little arguments. No, I haven't started them. Subscribers have started them, because I've said I don't think cables matter, and I don't believe that cables matter. And I've tested little thin janky cables like this one here, and the one that came with this originally, and others, and then big thick cables and expensive cables, and they all sound the same to me, and I don't hear any difference. But I thought I was going crazy. I ordered this cable just because I like it. It's got this gold kind of cloth wrapped wires, and it's longer than a standard cable. So I like that, because I like to be able to set my player down maybe on the table next to me or something, and not have to worry about it pulling on the cable. But I put this cable on here, and I put them in, and I was listening to, I think, a Diana Krall Live in Paris album. I listened to some songs on that, and I heard a distinct difference, and I thought, okay, what was that? And so I put the other cable back on, and I listened to it. It sounded great with the other cable. What was the other cable I had? It was this cable right here. It was Linsol Loops, I think, or something. This is a really nice cable. I paid, I think, like $53 or $43 or whatever for this cable, and I really enjoy this cable. It's very comfortable. It doesn't tangle. Very light. It hits all the notes for me. I like this cable. But I put this cable back on, and there was a change. And the change was this cable, the background was quieter and cleaner. And then I thought, okay, maybe it was that song, and maybe it was the player, because I mean, this is the Pentacon, the 4.4, and this is, you know, 2.5. And I thought maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know, but my guess is that this cable has really good insulation from RF frequency, right? And so it has both that, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe the 4.4 on the FiO player does something different. I don't know how that could be possible. It's just it's in the same circuit as the 2.5. If I've looked at their schematics, and it looks that it's in the same path as the 2.5. It's just a shared output, but the same path is going to those two connectors. So there shouldn't be any difference. So I really feel like it comes down to the cable. And you know, I've done a lot of study in the past because I used to build data centers for computers. I built a data center for one customer. It was, you know, they had 500 servers in there. So large data centers, you know, well, fairly large, right? Not thousands system data centers, but large. And, you know, we had lots of static electricity issues and RF issues, and we had to make sure things were insulated correctly and shielded correctly so that, you know, we didn't have interference in circuits and that kind of stuff. But so I know that RF does play a role in a signal going through a wire, and if the shielding is not good enough, there could be some type of RF coming from a player or some surrounding, you know, electrical devices. I don't know, that could possibly affect it. But definitely, when I put this cable on, and I've tried it several times now just to make sure that what I was hearing was correct, this cable quieted things down. And I know I've always said cables don't make a difference, and I'm eating crow right now because this cable made a difference. So maybe I'll do a separate video on that with different cables. But so I don't want to take away from these. These IEMs are highly recommended, and I know 269 is a lot. A lot of people don't want to spend that on IEM. I totally get it. If you're in that market and you're thinking about getting IEMs and you're looking at all the latest stuff out, honestly, these are as good or better than anything that's out right now. The way these are tuned, every single genre of music that I listened to sounded good. It wasn't like, you know, let's go talk about like the Fearless Audio. Those don't do rock and roll, and they don't do some hip hop real well because they don't really have bass. They sound excellent. The tuning is excellent, but it's more along the lines of acoustical guitar, and vocals are really good. Jazz music's really good on that. Piano's really good, things like that. But on those Fearless S8Zs, which are $589, they're more expensive than these, or $579, I think. These are better because the dynamic driver in these has such a great bass delivery, and low frequency delivery. It's not the best bass I've ever heard. In other words, it's not the most powerful, but it's just the tuning is just so smooth on everything. And like I said, I've gotten quite a few IAMs over the last few years. In fact, you can see I've got these Art Magics that I'm going to be doing a review on. I've got the CCA 16s. I'm going to be doing a review on these. On these Jade ones, these are a lot less expensive, but still sound really good. I've got, I did the Mangards. I did the ISN 40s, and on and on. And I still love those ISM 40s. I still listen to those. They have a great, some kind of detail that I really like, and so I do listen to those. But overall, this is my go-to now. This is what I listen to every day. So I think I've said enough. There'll be a written review out at my website, audioaddicted.com, as well as a link to that review. I will link to the cable, and I'll go dig up the link because I got these on Amazon. I'll go dig up the link for that on these. I don't make any money off of that. I'm not like an Amazon associate or anything. So, whatever the price is, just that's it. But these things are pretty awesome too. So I'll do that. Again, highly recommended. You're probably going to want to replace the cable. Maybe not. Maybe you don't care. But because they're my daily drivers now, I want to have a cable I'm really comfortable with. Besides the fact that this cable also makes them sound better. But that aside, great buy. And I'll list out some songs and details of those songs in the description of the video. Okay, guys, thanks for watching this, and I hope it helps you out.